YouTubers, and welcome to another Doctor Who action figure review. In today's review I am looking at another of Wave 3 of the Toys R Us exclusive Dalek Doctor 2 packs, and I'm looking at the third Doctor, an anti-reflecting light wave Dalek, try saying that when you're drunk, from Planet of the Daleks. So, is this set worth picking up, or should it send itself all the way back to Spyridon? Let's take a look. The figures come packaged in a window box that features the classic series design. I particularly like the fact that the designer thought it would be a good idea to hide Jon Pertwee's face behind the diamond of the Doctor Who logo. The sides of the box feature various publicity stills, one from Season 7 and another from the Colony in Space. On the back of the box we have two more images, one from the Sea Devils and a screen cap from Planet of the Daleks. The back of the box also features a biography for the third Doctor and for the Daleks. The inside of the box features various images from Planet of the Daleks. First we have the Thal spaceship, on one side we have the TARDIS covered up by foliage, and on the other we have the Thal campsite. So let's start off with the third Doctor. Before we begin, I have to say I absolutely love this variant of Pertwee. It's fantastic. Now I'm sure a few of you are already thinking, well hang on a minute, surely there's a certain issue with this figure that is causing you some distress? And yes, there is an elephant in the room, and that is, of course, the jacket. The jacket in this story is, in fact, a blazer, therefore that the sculpt that they're using here isn't correct. Now, it's been about, 4 years since the first third Doctor figure was released, and in that time we've had quite a few different variants of Pertwee, and the sculpt of the jacket has never changed. It's always been the same one. So it's safe to say that we'll never ever see an alteration to the jacket. So if we're ever going to see any more variants of Pertwee, we're just going to have to get used to the fact that they're going to use that jacket. And to be honest, so long as we get a rough estimation of those figures, I can live with that. Now I'm sure a few of you are thinking, well hang on a minute, what about that fourth Doctor? That's slightly different. That cardigan and cravat, that actually exists. That existed from the very first day of the classic figures. So this is slightly different. The articulation is as standard, so the head can turn from side to side. He has 360 degree shoulder articulation, 360 degrees at the biceps, articulation at the elbows, so they can go up and down, articulation at the wrists, articulation at the waist. He also features a T-joint crotch piece, which allows the legs to move forward and out to the sides. Articulation at the thighs, which can also do 360s, and articulation at the knees, so the legs can be lifted up and down. In terms of detailing, the paint job on the head sculpt is excellent. Probably the best paint job we've ever seen on a third Doctor. It may not show up so well on camera, but in hand, the figure looks amazing. They've really done a really good job in updating the paint job. The paint on the eyes in particular, and the small bit of red across the lips, really make the sculpt very lifelike indeed. And the white hair with all the dark washes underneath really makes the sculpt of the hair stand out and look very good. The costume is really nice as well. Like I said, the cut of the jacket, well, that's just one of those things. I've always been a really big fan of Pertwee's costume in Planet of the Daleks, so I'm thrilled that we're finally getting a figure of this costume, because I'll be honest, I didn't think we'd ever see it because of the jacket business. But we have it, and I couldn't be happier that we have him here. The colour of the jacket is very close to as it appears on screen. It's a nice dark maroon colour, which stands out compared to the other third Doctor figures that we've seen, which are generally either in black and green. The pink of the shirt is also a nice match, and it isn't too vibrant that it's in your face. In some of the pictures that were originally shown online, it did look like the colours were a bit bright, but actually in hand they work really well and complement each other really well. The work on the cravat is also very good, a sort of turquoisey colour with a metallic light green painted over the top to emulate a paisley pattern. Now the actual thing that Pertwee wears in this story kind of looks more like a bow tie, but it's like a floppy bow tie which hangs very loosely, kind of like the cravat sculpt that they've used here. Now technically the cravat sculpt that they are using is probably a bit too long, but then again, if they'd have used the bow tie sculpt, that wouldn't have looked right either. So Character Options did the right thing in reusing the cravat sculpt instead. The third Doctor also features brown shoes, unlike the black shoes and the black boots of previous releases. I love this figure. Absolutely fantastic. He looks really, really nice. He's going to look great on display. He'll really stand out amongst the other third Doctor figures. absolutely fantastic that we've got this variant. I'm incredibly happy about this. One thing I think would have been cool to do was to perhaps give Pertwee the leather gloves that he wears quite a lot throughout that story. Perhaps they could have taken the hands off of the Roger Delgado figure and put it on this figure. Who knows? I mean, it may not have looked right. I know it's only a repaint, there's no new parts to this, but it's a really nice one. Finally, we have the anti-reflecting light wave Dalek, which, because it's a mouthful, I'm going to call it the spray paint Dalek, because that's basically what it is. So this is a very inspired variant. When it was first announced that the Dalek in this set was going to be a unique Dalek, there was lots of speculation as to what it could possibly be. I thought it was just going to end up being totally black, like the spray-painted Dalek is in that episode. But this is a much cleverer idea. This is a very clever idea, and it works incredibly well. And it probably actually works better on camera, because here, it really does look like this is all starting to fade away, going invisible, and then all of this just slowly starts to fade in before becoming quite a solid black. And it's the same around here. Obviously this side is slightly more transparent. And then again around the back. I really do like this variant. It's very clever. Obviously the articulation is still the same as normal. He has 360-degree head turn, his eye stalk moves up and down, and the plunger and gun arm are of course ball jointed. And he is on 3 wheels, which are, again, transparent. A very clever idea. We could have ended up with a metallic gunmetal grey Dalek from Planet of the Daleks, which I still would really like. But seeing as we've already had the Genesis Dalek, which doesn't look all that different, it's just a metallic version, this is a very clever variant. I really do love the 3rd Doctor variant, and this spray-painted Dalek is a very novel choice indeed. All in all, highly recommended. These sets are just starting to appear at Toys R Us stores now, but they are proving quite tricky to get. I ordered mine online, and the first time I tried to order them, they sold out while I was trying to order them. The second time when I actually did manage to order them, they sold out almost immediately after I placed my order. So I recommend trying to keep your eye on the Toys R Us website. There is a special notification thing where they will text you and email you should they get them in stock. Keep ringing your local Toys R Us stores and asking them whether or not they have them in. So thank you very much for watching this review, guys. I hope it's been useful. You can purchase this set for £20 and it is exclusive to Toys R Us. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you for my next review, which is the 8th Doctor and Dalek Alpha.